What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Quicksand tapping in for episode 44 of Mindset Monday, and today we're going to talk about perception. But before we get into it, the one thing that I do ask of you is that if you find any type of value in the context of this video, that you share it with someone who can also benefit. I post a mindset video every Monday, so subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss another drop. Tap in. Alright, so today we're going to skim over chapter 1 of the book called The Obstacle is the Way. And underneath it says, the timeless art of turning trials into triumphs. So I got a shout out to my boy Jason on gifting me this for my birthday. And I just started reading it today and I loved chapter 1 about perception. So I just want to go over, some things. I'll read it and then I'll kind of give my own opinion on it or on my own ideas. And then we'll see where it goes from there, alright? So, what is perception? Perception is how we see and understand what occurs around us and what we decide those events will mean to us. Our perception can be a source of strength or great weakness. And if we are emotional, subjective, and short-sighted, we only add to our problems. To prevent becoming overwhelmed by the world around us, we must, as the ancients practice, learn how to limit our passions and their control over our lives. It takes skill and discipline to bat away the pests and bad perceptions, to separate reliable signals from deceptive ones, and to filter out prejudice, expectations, and fears. But it's worth it, for what's left is the truth. So when you get rid of everything else that doesn't matter and you really filter on what you're trying to do and what your focus is, then that's where you're able to separate great ideas from the bad ones, and then you choose, what really makes sense for you. While others are excited or afraid, we will remain calm and impenetrable. We will see things simply and straightforwardly as they truly are, neither good nor bad. And this will be an incredible advantage for us in the fight against obstacles. So perception is what we see and understand around us and what they really mean to us, right? So everyone has a different perception. And as we read, we'll continue talking. So one of the few parts that I highlighted, it's a few pages in, it says, you will come across obstacles in your life, fair and unfair. And you will discover time and time again that what matters most is not what these obstacles are, but how we see them, how we react to them, and whether or not we keep our composure throughout these obstacles. You will learn that this reaction determines how successful we will be in overcoming or possibly thriving because of them. So as these obstacles come into your life, as it says in the beginning sentence, it's either going to be fair or unfair, right? And an unfair advantage, you feel as if that this is it, that this obstacle is going to stop me from continuing forward and I cannot do anything else, right? There's a lot of times where we feel this way, and it's not really what it says right here. It's not really what the obstacle is, but it's how we see it. So if we see this obstacle in our way as like, this is the end all be all, there's no way for me to get past it, then that's what it's going to be. But if you see this obstacle as a way for you to learn how to navigate around it, how to go over it, or how to go under, then that's when we start to really learn who we are and the power that we hold within our mind and our spirit, right? Because we know that we're not giving up because of this obstacle is in front of us. I see an opportunity in this obstacle, right? This is with the mindset that we need to have when we feel like our back's against the wall. We have no other option. And we can thrive because of these obstacles. The next portion here says, where one person sees crisis, another sees opportunity. Where one is blinded by success, another sees reality with ruthless objectivity. Where one loses control of their emotions, another can remain calm and focused. Desperation, despair, fear, powerlessness. These are reactions. These reactions are functions of our perception. So you must realize that nothing makes us feel this way. We just choose to give in to such feelings, or we choose not to. So if you go back to that part, you're talking about desperation, despair, fear, powerlessness. If we buy into these emotions and we really believe that we are in fear, that we have no power in this situation, then that is exactly how it's going to be. But if we choose not to buy in, if we choose to remain calm and focused, and we choose to remain in the moment and to control what we can control, then we're in a great position, because we know that this obstacle in our way is not the end all be all. That we know that yes, I can feel fear, and I can feel that, man, I don't know, maybe I may fail in this situation, or maybe this is it for me. We can feel that way, but how we really react is how it's going to happen, how we're going to go forward with it, right? So don't buy into these emotions, because that's what's going to make you really get into your feelings and make you feel as if you are helpless. You have to know and believe that this is just a bump in the road that you can overcome and you will overcome, right? This is very important to not buy into these emotions and feelings. So I'm gonna move on now. So right here it says, outward appearances are deceptive. What's within them, beneath them, is what really matters. So how we perceive a situation is really not what it truly is. You have to look into the obstacle, look into the situation, and really dissect if this is really going to affect me in the long haul, or am I going to let it, right? And so it's within these situations, when you break it down, is what really matters. It's not what it looks like on a surface level, right? So if if an obstacle is in your way, you're not just looking at it in your way. You're just saying, okay, well, this obstacle came up, and I'm gonna have to problem solve and figure out a way around this situation for me to be able to be successful, right? I'm not gonna look at it as just like, man, this thing is towering over me, I'm overwhelmed, I am in fear, I just can't feel like I can be successful here. That's what we don't want to do. We want to look deep within, and really look deep within us, and dig deep, and to know that we are capable of anything, no matter how difficult it looks on the surface. This is what this is getting at right here. And we can learn to perceive things differently, to cut through the illusions that others believe or fear, right? That's perfectly well said. That was actually what I was trying to get at. And we can stop seeing the problems in front of us as problems, and we can learn to focus on what things really are. So we see things as, man, this is a problem, but if you really look at it for what it is, it's a problem, but it's not a problem that cannot be solved, because we're capable of a lot, and so the more experiences that we go through, the more we get to learn, or the more experiences that other people go through, they can teach you, especially if they're friends or family, they can teach you and kind of guide you through what they did to be successful. And so that's why it's important to also keep a circle of people who are like-minded, or even better than you, so that way you can learn and continue to move forward no matter what. Too often we react emotionally, and we get despondent, and we lose our perspective. All that does is turn bad things into really bad things when we overthink. Unhelpful perceptions can invade our minds, and the mind is a sacred place of reason, action, and will, and this will throw off our compass. So if we really buy into the fact that we are helpless and powerless, if we buy into that, then our focus on what we really want to do in life, our compass, is going to steer in a different direction. It's going to go in a direction of fear, of helplessness, of powerlessness, and then we start to follow our emotions, and our emotions dig us into a spiral of despair and the feeling of not being able to get out. But if we really focus our compass on what our objective is and what our goal is in life and where and how we want to feel, then we really will straight go forward through this, through this obstacle, and we'll figure out a way over, under, on the side, or whatever. As I said earlier, right, you'll find a way no matter what. And that's what we really want to get at in life, right? And that's what we want to teach the young kids growing up, or anyone really. The last portion of this that I highlighted, it says that we can see disaster rationally, right? This is where we want to get at, right? We can see the opportunity in every disaster, and we can transform that negative situation into an education, right? Something we can learn from, a skill set or a fortune. So when you are in a position where your back's against the wall and you feel as if nothing else that you do can actually help you, you learn from it. You can write this stuff down and dissect a way for you to get around this situation, or to really navigate logically, right? And using your problem solving skills and using life experiences that you had in the past in order for you to get past this situation. If seen properly, anything that happens in life, whether it's, right here it says, an economic crash or a personal tragedy, this is all a chance to move forward and to continue moving on in life, because we have to continue going, right? Even if it is on a bearing that we did not anticipate. And there's a lot of things in life that we don't anticipate. Problems come up every single day, but this is the moment where you learn and you push forward through. You kind of have to continue no matter what. The last portion here is that there are a few things to keep in mind when faced with a seamlessly insurmountable object or obstacle. Here's some things that we can try. So the first thing here is to be objective and to not look at things with emotion. Look at them for what they are. The next is to control emotions and keep an even keel. Third, to choose to see the good in this situation. How is this situation going to benefit me, and how can I learn from this? The fourth one is to steady our nerves. Focus on what matters. Take deep breaths, right? That also helps me as well. 3 seconds in your nose, 6 seconds out. Get your mind and your body back and connected. The fifth one here is to ignore what disturbs or limits others. So if you see that your friends are really focused and they get really scared when a situation happens, learn from them and learn from how they're reacting, and learn how to not react. This is a great way to do it. The sixth one here is to place things into perspective and really understand why this is happening to you, or why this may be happening, or what led up to this event, right? This obstacle coming in your way. Put everything in perspective and realize that stuff happens, and you know that you're not going to give up, and you know that you can find a way around this. The seventh one is to revert to the present moment. Be present. Be here now. You're not in tomorrow, you're not in yesterday, you're here now, right? So if you're too worried about things that are coming up in the future or in the past, then you're really not focused on the present, and then you can't find a way out of this situation. The last one here is the eighth one, is to focus on what can be controlled. So worrying about the things you can control is one of the most important lessons that I ever learned, and I'm continuing to teach other people that, but also to apply it on my own, right? And there's a lot of things that don't matter in life, but what really matters is the present moment, and really what controls you is your emotions. So if you control what you can control, which is your energy, your effort on a daily basis, and how much work you're putting in, and you're controlling your ability to not buy into the emotions of fear and helplessness, you can control all of this stuff, but you cannot control when an obstacle comes your way. It just happens, and how we deal with it going forward, and is really gonna help us to really find out who we truly are and what we're made of. And this book, in the first chapter, The Obstacle is the Way, has already helped me and got my mind thinking a lot. And that's why I wanted to share this book with you guys. Again, that was only chapter 1, Perception. There's a lot more chapters left, and I'm going to continue reading, and what I learned from here is what I would teach. Thank you all for watching this video. I appreciate you. Drop a comment, like, and subscribe. And again, shout out to my boy Jason for this book with the birthday gift. Alright, tap out, y'all.